Initially, specimens with a 2-liter engine, 150 horsepower, were delivered to the salons. Mazda 6 with 2.5 went on sale in the summer of 2013, after the start of assembly of the model in Vladivostok. In 2018, the engine range was replenished with a 2.5-liter turbo engine, Skyactiv G 2.5T, developing 231 horsepower. Until 2021, diesel versions with 2.2 Skyactiv D, 150 and 175 horsepower, were available to Europeans. Mazda 6 was equipped only with engines from the Skyactiv line. Of the technical features of gasoline engines, direct fuel injection and hydraulic valve clearance compensators can be noted. The 2.5-liter unit is complemented by a balancing shaft. Timing drive, chain. Questions about the durability of the chain have not yet arisen even with runs over 200,000 kilometers. Oil fogging in the area of /U200B/U200B valve cover or the valve timing sensor, OCV, closer to 80 to 120,000 kilometers is a common occurrence. After 100 to 150,000 kilometers, it was necessary to update the drive belt hydraulic tensioner. He began to rattle and cling to the roller. Ignition coils will last over 150 to 200,000 kilometers. A little later, a number of owners encountered a malfunction of the catalytic converter. The check light came on, and the diagnostics revealed the error, low catalyst efficiency. Upon examination, melting of the neutralizer cells was found. In 2019, gasoline units received an electronic thermostat. If a regular thermostat runs for over 150 to 200,000 kilometers, then an electronic one could fail after 20 to 30,000 kilometers. The main symptom is poor heating in winter at idle. Subsequently, the thermostat was modernized. So far, there is no need to talk about systematic problems with high-pressure fuel pumps. However, Mazda informed about possible malfunctions of the high-pressure fuel pump. The recall campaign affected cars produced from April 2018 to January 2019. In fact, isolated cases of high-pressure fuel pump failure were recorded among older specimens with a mileage exceeding 100 km. It only happens in the original. The 2-liter engines were combined with a 6-speed Skyactiv MT manual or a 6-speed Skyactiv Drive automatic. Both boxes are Mazda's own design. Versions from 2.5 were paired only with an automatic. There are no comments regarding the manual transmission. The automatic transmission is not problematic. However, sometimes there are complaints about jolts or kicks when switching. There were also episodes where the machine was overhauled due to problems with the valve body or bearing. Fortunately, all these cases are isolated. The signature Skyactiv chassis features McPherson struts at the front and a multi-link setup at the rear. The steering uses electric power. Ball bearings and rear silent blocks of the front levers were out mainly by 100 to 150,000 kilometers. The front silent block of the lever is almost eternal. The original ball is only assembled with a lever. The design of the standard lever allows you to replace the ball, as well as the rear silent block. Rear suspension silent blocks usually reach 150 to 200,000 kilometers. There are 7 in total on each side. The front shock absorbers could knock or leak after 100,000 kilometers of run. Rear shock absorbers, by modern standards, centenarians. After 100 to 150,000 kilometers, it was necessary to update the thrust bearings. And after 150 to 200,000 kilometers, it was the turn of the rear shock absorber supports. Front bearings can fail after 100 to 150,000 kilometers of run, and rear bearings, usually after 150 to 200,000 kilometers. Both change assembled with the hub. After the first update in 2015, the conventional mechanical parking brake gave way to an electromechanical one. Front and rear calipers may require attention after 150 to 200,000 kilometers, front, due to wear of the guides and anthers. Rear, due to problems with the parking brake. To eliminate defects in the rear calipers, Mazda conducted a service campaign for cars produced in 2012 to 2015. After 150 to 200,000 kilometers, drive shafts may be in the spotlight. In particular, due to the outboard bearing of the right drive or hinges. If the outer CV joint can still be replaced separately, then the inner joint has to be updated along with the axle shaft. There are no global questions regarding the corrosion of body iron. The quality of the paintwork and corrosion resistance correspond to the average framework. Failures in the mirror folding mechanism are a fairly common problem that occurs after 50 to 100,000 kilometers. The reason is the wear of drive parts, motor, plastic gears, or a burnt transistor on the control board. You can try replacing a failed transistor. After passing 150 to 200,000 kilometers, the air conditioning compressor clutch may make noise or fail. Over the years, parking sensors malfunctions are becoming more and more common. Usually due to oxidation and corrosion of the contacts in the connectors, less often due to sensor failure. After 100 to 150,000 kilometers, the automatic transmission mode switch limit switch may wear out. As a result, when the ignition is turned off, the radio does not turn off. The functionality of the limit switch can be restored by a simple repair. A number of owners of a Mazda6 GJ with an active hood have concerns about costly repairs if activated. This can happen as a result of a minor accident, such as running over a dog at low speed. When the pedestrian protection system is activated, the squibs are activated and raise the hood. As a result, the hood and front fenders are deformed. To completely restore the system, 8 sensors, wiring, squibs, control unit. To avoid unexpected costs, some owners turn off the squib and install a blend, resistor, in the circuit. Summarizing what has been written, it should be noted that no serious systematic problems have been noticed so far. It is still too early to judge the reliability of the new gasoline turbo engine, since the runs are small, and it has not received wide distribution. The resource of factory parts is quite decent, but the cost of original spare parts is very tangible. Nevertheless, the Mazda6 GJ is a fairly reliable car worthy of attention.